Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Days of the Wolf. This is D Wolf coming at you, just with a kind of a secondary news story that just kind of popped into my queue, and I wanted to kind of share it with you. Um, on a side note, there's a big thing going on with Nike. I'm in the Northwest, so Nike's kind of a major employer here, and I personally don't own any Nike stuff, and I just think their stuff is kind of overpriced anyway. But if someone could kind of like explain it, like exactly what's going on, I'm seeing a lot of memes in my stream about it, and I just find it humorous if nothing else. Anyway, the main story I wanted to get to is this, and this is a very depressing type story. Let me punch it up. There we go. All right. All right. Now, I told people about this. Equifax and the hack with Equifax. And here it is in today's episode of Axios. After Equifax's mega breach, nothing has changed. You know what? I'm not surprised about this at all. Nothing's really changed because there's really no incentive to change it. And I've come off the wall about this, and I've got a lot of flack for it. You know, that everything should be just kind of status quo. And it's a year past that time. The damage has already been done, and the people that were responsible for this, for taking your information, this man right here, taking your information without your permission and utilizing it, selling it to the highest bidder or whatever, you know, that was bad enough. Now it's whoever hacked and breached the databases has that. No doubt it's on the black market. And I got in a kind of a discussion, debate, you might say, with somebody who said that, you know, our financial system is exactly the way it should be, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. But here you go, you have an Equifax hack that has essentially taken everybody's personal identity, where you work, you know, who you worked for, where you lived, immutable things, or things that cannot easily be mutable, your social security number. Good luck trying to get a new social security number for that. Good luck trying to get a new date of birth. Good luck trying to change your mother's maiden name. Good luck with all that stuff. It's out there, you know. And this guy goes on saying why it matters. A year ago, Friday, Equifax, one of the major credit reporting agencies, announced that 145.5 million U.S. adults had their Social Security numbers stolen in an easily preventable breach. So they didn't even give a shit. You know, if any data breach was going to be able to shock Washington into enacting a sweeping privacy reforms, this should have been it. But it wasn't, and it will never be. You know, I mean, if you're going to get a loan for a car, you have to depend on Equifax still. So if your credit at the time of taking all that information was good, well, it's probably, you know, right up there on top of their list of credit to attack. If it was bad, you'll probably never really be dealing with it. But once it gets good, then you got that to deal with. The story goes on, and I wanted to kind of bring this to everybody's focus because this is what I've been yapping about KYC, letting your personal information be attached to your financial capabilities. You know, now there it is, black and white, right there. You know, and Equifax is especially bad because they take your data and they aggregate it and they compile it for other people to see. You know, I mean, they got to pay whatever they got to be retribuable. But now it doesn't matter. Now everybody has it. So when I get on the case about KYC on exchanges, KYC with now Shapeshift for shifting over cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency, you know, what guarantee do you have that your personal information is going to be safe? Now, they say that, well, this is because if, you know, I mean, if there's an investigation done on you, they can do a court order and requisition that information and stuff. Okay, but what about the people that get hacked? And don't tell me that the legitimate, not dependable, but legitimate companies don't get hacked. This is the proof in the pudding right here. You know, this is Equifax, pretty big database, powerful. Is basically the pinnacle of decisions whether you get a loan or not, assuming you even want to participate into this financial array of bullshit. You know, this score that you have to keep and stuff like that. You know, maybe it's not affecting a lot of people right now with good credit scores, and you know, they keep on top of the things. But think about like the 90% of people that don't have good credit or don't have the wherewithal to freeze their credit. You even think, did I even have to freeze it in the first place? Well, you do now. It will stop. Theoretically, it will stop people from utilizing your name to buy things and stuff. But is that really the case? They have all your information. If they say, okay, Mr. D. Wolf, could we get your social security number? You know, we have your social security number and we have your date of birth. Give us some information that we don't have, that's not in the commonplace, that will uniquely identify you as you. This, my friends, is where the blockchain is going to take place. You know, this is right now we're at kind of the precipice of where we can put the blockchain as the new credit repository. You know, but it would be by your choice. You can choose to incorporate your personal data and stuff like that. Now that it's already out, it's really hard to kind of justify anything, because it's like if somebody utilizes your social security number in some scam or whatever, well, they're going to go after you before they go after the scammer. The onus is always on you to defend yourself through no fault of your own. You could have crossed your T's, dotted your I's, made sure all the secret passwords were secret, but when you give your personal information to a third-party arbitrator, you lose control of that. Same thing with cryptocurrency, by the way. You know, your keys, your coins. Not your keys, not your coins. So your personal information, not your personal information or information that's already out there, not your personal information anymore. So I'm just befuddled on how this will be reconciled. I don't utilize credit cards. I don't do these things, and I try to pay everything in cash because of this reason. But the banks are insisting on your social security number. They're insisting on it, but they can't keep it protected. So if they can't protect your personal information, but they insist on having it because the regulators need that personal information, so if you do anything bad, they can do something about it. They can get you in some type of lawsuit, or they can go after you criminally or anything like that. But they can't keep your personal information safe. Only really, honestly, you can. I mean, or at least you have the sense to know that that personal information is as important as anything else. Right now, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if personal information is safe. You know, I mean, can you verify yourself with your First, last name, last 4 digits of your social security number, and date of birth. Okay, well, I am who I say that I am. But, if somebody else has that information in a nice, neat, stacked row of spreadsheets that kind of index you by your social security number, it's all there at their fingertips, literally, and it's like Equifax just made it that much easier. It's like the Dewey Decimal System on the libraries, nice organized books by the Dewey Decimal System. And most of you younger folks don't know what I'm talking about, but it's indexed and all ready for them. It's one thing if some black hat is kind of trying to get your name, then your last name, and figure out where you live by going dumpster diving and stuff like that. But all this aggregated information is nicely indexed for the bad guys. The bad guys have your information. So what do you do now? Good question. Anyway, I wanted to bring that news article to light, and if you like what you're hearing, please feel free to press the like button or leave a comment. And this is D Wolf signing off.